Hello there, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to a new Bible study. Today we will study the last verse of Habakkuk 2. And it is Habakkuk 2 verse 20. Holy is the Lord. And the verse says, "But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him." The taunts of Yahweh are complete, and Habakkuk caps them, brings us back to an important reality. No matter what, God is on his throne, and we should stand in awe before him. Let's dive into some interesting points. The temple in Jerusalem is merely a representation of God's heavenly temple. Even after Jerusalem and the temple were destroyed by Babylon, God is still on his throne. Imagine that we could have a glimpse of Yahweh and his throne. Several people did, and their experience is vividly recorded in Scripture. As we can read in Isaiah 6, Ezekiel 1, Daniel 7, or Revelation 4. And imagine the scenes those writers saw. And I will read some of these verses. Isaiah 6 verse 1. "I saw the Lord high and exalted, seated on a throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple." And then in Ezekiel 1, 26-28, "Above the vault of their heads was what looked like a throne of lapis lazuli, and high above on the throne was a figure like that of a man. I saw that from what appeared to be his waist up, he looked like glowing metal, as if full of fire, and that from there down he looked like fire, and brilliant light surrounded him, like the appearance of a rainbow in the clouds on a rainy day, so was the radiance around him." Then Daniel 7 verse 9. "As I looked, thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was as white as snow. The hair of his head was white like wool. His throne was flaming with fire, and its wheels were all ablaze." And then in Revelation 4, "And there before me was a throne in heaven, with someone seating on it, and the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper and ruby. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. From the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings, and peals of thunder. In front of the throne 7 lamps were blazing. These are the 7 spirits of God. Also in front of the throne there was what looked like a sea of glass, clear as crystal." No matter what problems you face today, anxiety about the future, ill health, unanswered prayers, financial struggles, or family strife, remember this certainty: the Lord is in his holy temple. Okay, and let's dive into the second interesting point, and it's about hush. Being a multicultural study, not everyone might understand the nuances of the word hush. It is a thing that parents often say to their children when they want to gently tell their child to keep silent. It is not like "shut up," which is very demanding or rude, or "keep quiet," which is also a command. One can also say a hushed silence fell over the crowd, which indicates a sudden calm silence occurred. It connotates a feeling of anticipation and expectation that something is going to happen. That is the meaning of the Hebrew word hasa, hush, keep still and be at peace. Often in Scripture we are told that we should be silent in the Lord's presence. Psalm 37:7 reads, Be silent in the Lord's presence and wait patiently for Him. Then Zeb 3 verse 7b tells us, Be silent before the sovereign Lord, for the day of the Lord is near. The Lord has prepared a sacrifice. He has consecrated those He has invited. And the prophet Zechariah in verse 22, chapter 2 verse 13 is similar to Habakkuk. Be still before the Lord, all mankind, because He has roused Himself from His holy dwelling. Also, we see a similar silence being observed in Revelation 8:1. When He opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. Therefore, because we know that God is in His temple, there is nothing we could say. Instead, we should hush and be still in the presence of the Lord. Okay, brothers. Psalm 46 tells us, Be still and know that I am God. And also the Gospel of Mark records that on the first Sabbath that Jesus was in Capernaum, He went into the synagogue and taught. The people were amazed at His teaching, because He taught them as one who had authority. During the service, a man with an unclean spirit approached Him, and He cast out the spirit, which you can imagine created quite a stir. Afterwards, He went to Simon and Andrew's house with His disciples, where He healed Simon's mother-in-law of a fever. That evening, after sunset, the people in Capernaum brought to Jesus all the sick and demon-possessed. Scripture tells us that He healed many with various diseases, and He cast out many demons. Jesus was probably up very late into the night, ministering to people's needs and teaching them. After such a long day, one would expect that Jesus would have deserved to sleep in. However, Mark 1:35 tells us, Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place, where He prayed. And if Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God, put so much value into finding a quiet place to spend time in prayer, even after a late, busy night, then it must be doubly important for us as well. As Christians, we often call this a quiet time or a devotional time. It is essentially spending daily one-on-one time with God, praying, reading, or meditating on Scripture, listening to God, and those things are all important aspects of quiet time. If you want to get more, or you want to get to know somebody better, you need to spend time with someone. And it's no different with God. If you want to know Him better, you need to spend time with Him. If you need more information on how to improve or have a daily quiet time with God, I will put a very nice resource in the description of this video. Thank you for studying the Word with us today, and I hope to see you in the next video. God bless you.